opponents will be from Chinese Taipei, Ching and Chen.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2016 ITTF World Tour Swedish Open, a major series on the World Tour. I'm your commentator, Adam Bobrow, coming to you live from Stockholm, Sweden. And this is the women's doubles final. On the right-hand side from Korea is JEON Jihee on the left and Yang Haeun on the right. And on the left side of the screen, we have Chen in the orange jacket and Ching, the top player from Chinese Taipei, in the black and pink jacket. This match is being officiated by umpire Emiko Kajihara from Japan, and from France, our assistant umpire, Francois Lapique. So between these two teams, we've got the third seed, which is the Chinese Taipei pair. Kim In-soon is the coach and the mother of Yang Haeun for the Korean side. And Chung Pin-wei, the sister of Ching, is coaching the Chinese Taipei pair. Korean pair is the first seed. Chinese Taipei pair, the third seed in this competition, so it should be an exciting and close battle. It will be the best of 5 games, first team to win 3. Now, JEON Jihee, just in case you didn't know, the left-handed player in the bright yellow shirt, came from China originally, naturalized in Korea, and has been playing. Again, I noticed her most, I'd say her best early performance to catch my attention was the Spanish Open in I guess it was 2015. I think I might have said 2014, but it was early 2015. JEON Jihee, world rank number 14, the top world ranked player from Korea right now. She's 24 years old. She's the 5th seed in this tournament. Yang Haeun, 2 years younger, is 22 years old, world rank number 28. Has had some big accomplishments, being a doubles specialist, the mixed doubles world champion with Xu Xin in 2015 in Suzhou. Yang Haeun had a difficult battle against Sabina Winter at the recent Women's World Cup in Philadelphia, USA, and was up 3-0, and Sabina Winter came back. It was an outstanding comeback, or probably the match of the tournament. Very tough one for Yang Haeun, but she fought the whole way through. It was just on the losing end. Yang Haeun, the 12th seed in this tournament. On the side of the I thought it was that guy talking for a minute. It was the speakers. On the Chinese Taipei side, Ching, world rank number 7, is 24 years old, the 3rd seed in the tournament. And Chen, her teammate, 29 years old, was world rank number 88 when registered for the tournament, is currently out of the rankings, and is the 35th seed. So definitely is going to be fighting to keep up to speed with everybody out here. Left-handed, right-handed combination. And you can see the pips on the backhand side for Chen. So we'll see, we're going to get some flatter hits, some angular play, some quick off-the-bounce action from Chen. We'll see how she uses those pips. It's tough to say who I favor. I think that JEON Jihee and Yang Haeun, well, 1, they're the top seed. 2, they do play quite well together. They've played a lot on the World Tour. So I feel like it'll be an interesting style matchup here. Yang Haeun, the tallest player on the court, has the widest reach. She's strong over the table in the flip game. JEON Jihee with the inside-out angles. Ching with the power and the spin. And Chen, still a lot to discover. This is my first time that I can recall seeing Chen play. Look at this angle. Yang Haeun quick to get in, stays low. Takes the heavy top spin ball and plays it out wide. Forehand flip from over the table. Yang Haeun's short game very strong. Smart play, Ching playing it right back into the corner where JEON Jihee is. Now, for those of you a little newer to table tennis, you might have noticed that they must alternate shots. Every shot, also the serve, must be from a right-handed forehand cross court.
1-4.
Or at least from that side of the table anyway. Doesn't actually have to use a forehand. Could be served with the backhand side of the racket.
5-1.
So one strategy that's common is to hit it right back to the person who last hit the ball. But at this level of play, both players move so quickly and work together so seamlessly that it rarely actually causes enough trouble that it's worth pursuing regularly. Well placed with the forehand from young Haeun. Right down the line, Lee Yi-chun making her presence felt for the first time. Still have several games ahead, shorter than a singles match. Again, it's best of 5, but well placed right down the line. As we saw from JEON Jihee in this tournament, wingspan is not her strength. She's a relatively compact game, good timing, takes the ball off the bounce well, spins on both sides. There are the angles. JEON Jihee under pressure, sees the opening, plays it back. And the pressure was there for her to win the point, but it still felt like relatively low pressure for the Korean pair. Spinny opening backhand from Ching. Heavy underspin serve for the Chinese Taipei pair to make their way back in. We saw our first flat hit from Lee Yi-chun. Again, less rotation on the pip side of the racket. Excellent flip.
7-9.
Lee not showing where she's going to go. This is one powerful ingredient to keep on your flips, not just the consistency with the shot, but not showing where you're going to go until the last moment. Recovery from the top of the net, from down 3 to 9. 5 points in a row have been won. We've got a timeout for the Korean pair in game 1. Kim In-soon making the call. National women's coach for Korea, also the mother of Yang Haeun, former player herself, a pen holder. So the movement, setting up the point. I think one advantage of having a right-handed, left-handed player is that you get a lot more forehands into play. You can share the middle of the table with the strength, which tends to be the forehand. Both sides have this advantage. I think they're really going to have to exploit the weakness on the other side of the table. And while Lee Yi-chun is definitely a world-class player, between the two, Ching is much stronger.
8-9.
But now that Lee Yi-chun is on the serve, it's going to be tougher to take advantage. And no weakness shown. Lee Yi-chun takes her time on the counter loop and wins the point with the forehand. So 6 straight points for the Taiwanese pair. There's the angle. JEON Jihee stepping around and playing it off the side of the table. Sends Ching and her fast feet into a panic. Now game point for JEON Jihee and Haeun. That's outstanding. Right there, Haeun stays on top of the heavy spin of Ching to counter and take the point. And the game 11-9 for the Korean pair, the top seeds, to take the first. We'll be back for game 2 after this short break.
Sydkoreanskarna är första sidare, toppsidare här i denna dubbelturnering. De har tagit sig fram via Kelt-Kwan-nivå, Thailand, Frankrike. 3-1. Hu och Chiang. Med 3-0. Och så svensk-ungerska Ekholm Tulta med 3-1 i semifinalen.
We come back for game number 2. JEON Jihee and Haeun of Korea leading 1-0. They played through 3 rounds to get here, just like their opponents, undefeated so far.
Love 1.
Well played. The opening attack from the pip side of the racket of Lee Yi-chun. Chung Yi-ching with the finishing backhand, the pressure. Now just to let you know, JEON Jihee and Haeun in the first round beat Tamawan Ketuan and Marie Migaud from France. It was a 3-1 victory. After that, it was Humelek. And it was, let's see, Maria Xiao from Spain paired up with Humelek. 3-0. And after that, Matilda Ekholm and Georgina Pota recently took a title. So a strong performance to be here. Chung Yi-ching and Lee Yi-chun started off beating Barbara Balajova and Hanna Matalova, Slovakian and Czech players together. It was a 3-0 victory. After that, Hina Hayata and Miyu Kato 3-1. And following that, the choppers, short pips on Honoka Hashimoto and long pips on Hitomi Sato. 3-1 for Chung Yi-ching and Lee Yi-chun. So tough to say what'll happen out here. And this combination has definitely been more successful for the Taiwanese pair. Back edge of the table for Chung Yi-ching's loop. That point's going to go to the Taiwanese pair. So now 3 serving 6. Big opening loop. There's going to have to be some more decision on that receive. Lee Yi-chun tries to play it wide to the forehand for Haeun, but unless it's deeper or wider, it's just going to give the wingspan of Haeun the big opening attack. Beautiful shot down the line right off the bounce from Ching. Knows she has to close out quickly to take the point. JEON Jihee right down the middle of the table. Catches Lee Chen off guard. Looks like she was expecting the backhand shot. Watch where she's waiting here. Has to change her mind just at the last moment. Open the angle, but if the opponent can run it down, it creates an even wider angle opportunity. So Ching takes advantage of that. Look at this inside-out forehand. On several occasions so far, Lee Chen has definitely contributed to some big points. And once again, seeing the serve coming long, the opening attack taking it, and now 3 game points for the Taiwanese pair. One game point saved.
10-8.
And the game goes to the Taiwanese pair. Ching and Lee Chun tied up at 1 game apiece. We'll be back for game 3 right after this women's doubles final. Back for game number 3. Ching to start off with the serve. It's tied up at 1 game apiece. So one thing that has been quite successful for the Korean pair in this combination is when JEON Jihee gets the forehand, the inside-out forehand, plays it wide out cross court. She can do the same with the backhand as attempted there. She's just going to have to take the ball a little bit earlier. The earlier she takes it, the closer to the net it will be, allowing for such wide angles. But a heavy, deep push from Lee continues the streak. 3 points to the Taiwanese pair. Lee Chun, even off balance, makes several shots in this rally. But finally, Ching trying to play the line from way wide on the backhand side. Just a little bit too wide. Deep push and the lead continues for the pair from Chinese Taipei. First towel break of the game, and it's still close enough. Too close to call what will happen. We've seen twists and turns, comebacks from up 7-0.
3-4.
In the case of Mima Ito in this tournament, a 9-2 lead, 10-5 lead. Look at this, JEON Jihee sees that Ching is turning the corner and plays it parallel to the open forehand. Quick decision from peripheral vision to having a sense of when your opponent is going to move. But I think the vision's the key part. Beautiful inside-out forehand flip from Yang Haeun, the side swipe action to leave it cross court. Comes in with the loose wrist, the open face of the racket. It's tough to tell if she's going to topple it over, flip it deep to the backhand, but she goes the other way. And similar, Lee comes right back and flips it into the body of JEON Jihee deep on the table. Flip City up in here, flips all around. Just taking turns, getting up on one foot, playing the short game for a winner with those forehands. The second towel break of the game, dead even again.
That's 6-all.
Heavy spin from Lee. JEON Jihee's had a little bit of difficulty trying to block some of these shots out with the backhand wide. It is the length of the table, but she's trying to block it especially wide to avoid that powerful, monstrous forehand from Ching. Yang Haeun handles the block on the step around from Ching. Shots clipping the top of the net, just missing the edge, back and forth. Again, the game is tight. It's just a 1-point difference here. And the best of 5 taking this game. It's a much bigger factor, a much larger percentage of the victory. Quick reaction from JEON Jihee to keep it alive, and Yang Haeun to exploit the open court on the forehand side. Very steady backhand punch shot. Notice even on the punches of Yang Haeun, she still comes over the top of the ball, keeps topspin on it. Make sure the shot comes down under pressure. Taiwanese pair warned to play, not to stall. Everybody looking for the opportunity. The patterns seem almost to mirror each other on both sides, despite the difference in equipment. Although that last shot was parallel, there is more down the line shot exploiting the slightly slower, I guess I shouldn't say slower feet, less wingspan on the side of JEON Jihee. A little bit shorter than Yang Haeun. Spin shot off the top of the net, JEON Jihee ties it back up. Earns the opportunity, a heavy topspin ball. Young Haeun can't keep it down. Game point for Ching and Lee Chun. Look at this cover. JEON Jihee covering the middle. Lee Chun with the pressure and the placement, but still quick movement. Now it's tied up. The Korean pair still has a chance in this game. Again, the flip of Ching, but it's not powerful enough and the placement was predictable enough. Young Haeun brings it right back into play. Game point for the Korean pair. Not so fast though, tied right back up. Soft touch from Ching. Young Haeun didn't seem to be expecting the ball over the table. He's been solid on the back. There have been a lot of flips on both sides, so changing the patterns has worked out well for the Taiwanese pair. So close to the edge of the table. Another game point for Young Haeun and JEON Jihee. Heavy underspin serve, and there it is. The Koreans take it. Young Haeun and JEON Jihee for a 2-1 lead over Ching and Lee Chun, and we'll be back for game 4 right after this short break.
Till skillnad från koreanskorna så är det taiwanesiska paret inte finalsidat utan bara semifinalsidan. Deras väg fram har varit via Balasova, Mantelova, Slovakien, Tjeckien. Hayata och Kato från Japan också i semifinalen mot Hashi och Sato från Japan.
We come back for game 4. Ching and Lee Chun in red at the top of the screen from Chinese Taipei, trailing 1-2. Young Haeun and JEON Jihee from Korea leading right now, 1 game away from taking the title. Tough to tell how much underspin is on that serve. She puts a bit of side on it as well. Subtle contact with not a lot of follow through. There definitely has been a trend in the game. On the women's side especially, but on the men's side we see it too. A lot more serves for players, whether it's a reverse pendulum or a shovel serve, are coming from the outside of the ball. Changing things up from the traditional pendulum serve. Power for power, deep off the table. The shots come back, but the Koreans can't put it down.
Please break.
That's the most speed we've seen from JEON Jihee off the bounce with that forehand in quite some time. Already moving, anticipating, and covering the table. Watch how quickly she moves to center. She's already there. But it was Ching who was moving around the backhand corner. I think Ching needs to get some more spinny shots in with her backhand. This is very effective for her in singles.
3-all.
As much of a distraction as the short pips can be, or the pips rather, a little confirmation on what type of pips they are. Just have to imagine they are short as she's playing aggressively with them,
4-3.
not blocking the ball or chopping the ball. I still think that the forehands from Lee Yi-chun have been winning far more points than her backhands. But this time, again, a little bit too predictable. Even though it's wide, it's not wide enough to get outside of the reach of the long wings of Yang Haeun. Just a little bit too bland on the forehand side. So just in case you're newer to table tennis, you'll see not only the serving team, usually the player who has the third ball attack opportunity, JEON Jihee in this case, calling for the serve that she wants, that she thinks will be most likely to set her up with her best attack. Korean coach Jeon in the crowd, Jun Hae-kyung. The one with the long hair on the right of the screen before. But not only will you see the serving team calling what serve they want, you'll also see the receiving team calling what receive they want. It'll usually be the fourth ball player telling the receiver how they would like. I guess it really depends on the team though.
5-7.
Sometimes if someone who's more experienced is in the position of receiving, they'll say to their teammate, here's how I'm planning to receive, get ready. Ball's gonna be short. I'm going long with it, get ready for it to come back long quickly. After all that running around and switching a placement and the crossover from JEON Jihee, still the power from Ching. The kicking loop wins the point. Now the signage actually has gotten quite subtle. Talk about that more in a moment. Side swiping, set up, receive. Beautiful receive from Lee. Now the subtlety on the signs can be quite important because if anyone reads what the sign is and relays that information, passes it along to the players on the other side of the table somehow, which is quite easy to do, quite possible. The serving team loses their advantage, the element of surprise. $11 points to 5. We're taking this to a fifth and deciding game. The doubles are going the distance as well. We'll see if it's going to be the Taiwanese pair in red or the Korean pair in bright yellow right after this. Game 5. Don't go anywhere. Players come back for the deciding game 5. Ching right there with her hand up, and Lee Yi-chun with a slightly more colorful red shirt, representing Chinese Taipei.
Final game. Chen to start.
This is for the glory, for the championship, for the title. Service is called, and Ching will start with that serve. Strong pressure on the step around attack. JEON Jihee has used the forehand wisely on many occasions. Her backhand has been much lower percentage. Stretching out the shoulder to stay loose for that full stroke. There it is, the backhand. I think she heard me say that. It's like, yeah, I need to make a higher percentage of these backhands. Takes it right off the bounce, plays it out wide for the point. Very focused, early timing, and confident nonetheless. Deep on the table to receive Lee Yi-chun. Still the follow-up attack too strong. Excellent focus. Again, Haeun staying on top of the heavy topspin. She's used to the fast pace of play. Again, mixed doubles world champion, Haeun, playing with the top-seeded player from Korea, JEON Jihee. The timeout called by Chung Pin-wei. It's the sister of Chung Yi-ching and the coach. So remember, when one team reaches 5 points, they will not only switch halves of the table, but also the order of play. Whoever's turn it is to serve will serve, but to the opposite receiver that they were at the start of this game. Table tennis fans stretching, doing a little workout. Staying fresh with some refreshments. It's nice to see the young fans here. Parents taking their kids, giving them a chance to see what the world-class players look like up close and in person. I can tell you it's quite different than watching it on screen, seeing it live. Make sure you get tickets or stop by the World Tour when it's in your area. Lee Yi-chun delivering, making the forehand attack when the pressure's on. Despite a strong lead early on from the Korean pair, the Taiwanese pair making their comeback are within 1 point right now. That ball's played a little bit wider. JEON Jihee might try for the around the net shot. It's always beautiful to see someone take it late, take it low, and roll it on the table for several bounces. And the rhythm, the momentum is broken. Lee Yi-chun not able to get the forehand flip in. 5th point goes to JEON Jihee. Or I guess JEON Jihee and Haeun get their 5th point to switch sides of the table.
4-5.
Point for point, again, going back and forth. So all is balanced in terms of order of hitting. No sequence. Order of play will give an advantage to one side over the other at this point. Beautiful shot. Lee Chun with the shot of that rally from down near the ground with the forehand. Hooks it up with side spin, causing some real trouble and slowing up the shot. Look at this ball right here. Yang Haeun from down near the ground has to just try and keep it in play. And then Ching really taking advantage, making a difficult shot from down low again with that forehand to finish the point. JEON Jihee from this angle is going to have to make that shot. It's tough to tell how high it is, but with a consistent view of the table from that angle, it looked high enough that JEON Jihee will make that most of the time. Lee Chun introducing some side spin out there, coming across the ball. Jachi Jung, former U.S. national champion from USA. One of the few women who plays short pips pen holder but uses the reverse pen hold backhand with inverted. Two points away from victory for the Chinese Taipei pair. But still a 3-point game. The Koreans are not out of it yet. And Yang Haeun, when asked what her best quality is, said that she never gives up. And right now, her and JEON Jihee are continuing to fight the fight, closing into a 2-point game, and now have two serves on their side of the table. Nope, they're on the receiving side. Did I fool you? So Ching now with the serve. Wow, that is some impressive play on both sides. Yang Haeun to make that shot without hitting JEON Jihee. This is really important timing. Look one more time how close she gets, and Ching plays it with power, knows that there's a limited time opportunity to play it to the opposite side of the table. Now 3 championship points for the Taiwanese pair. Long serve, and it's Lee Chun who takes it for the finishing forehand. And very subtle smiles, if that, not even a smile. But an impressive performance to take the title. The women's doubles champions are the 3rd seed from Chinese Taipei, Ching and Lee Chun, knocking out the 1st seed, succeeding over the top dogs in the game. Yang Haeun and JEON Jihee. Stick around, we've got the men's doubles final coming up just after this. Should be exciting. You'll see Antoine Achard and Stefan Wesch of France versus Hugo Calderano and Gustavo Tsuboy from Brazil. Stay right here, you're watching the Swedish Open 2016.
Vi ska alldeles strax ha herrdubbelfinalen.